welcome to this week's video. So before we get into this week's video, I want to acknowledge the elephant in the room right now. I cut my hair. I love it. It's so short. It took me a while to get used to it, but I'm finally really loving it and feeling it. Still miss my long hair, but you know, switched it up. And I also changed my setup, which I'm really loving right now. So for this week's video, I want to do a makeup look for you guys. That's kind of like my go-to fail-safe makeup. I always feel confident and good in this makeup. So this is like my go-to like warm eyeshadow look with a nude lip. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I'm going to start off this look with the Estee Lauder Day Wear Multi Protection 24-Hour Moisture Cream. But I just like to start with a really good base because my skin's been pretty dry lately. Got a little handy dandy mirror here today. I'm just gonna massage that into my skin with my hands. I always like to have a super hydrated base before I do my makeup. So I'm just gonna let that like penetrate into my skin a little bit so it's not so slick. And then I'm gonna get started into the makeup. My go-to, like you've seen in a lot of videos, is just going in with some concealer. So I'm gonna do that today with the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer. But today I'm actually gonna put it on the back of my hand. And then I'm just gonna go in with my Real Technique setting brush. I just love the way this applies product really nicely and thinly. I feel like it lasts longer in the day, so I really enjoy that. It just evenly distributes the product so you don't get any creasing. Just the amount you need. And then going in with the Multitask Cheek Brush by Real Techniques with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Powder. And I'm just setting the concealer in place. So I'm going to go with a favorite bronzer of mine. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Bronzer. Go ahead, warm up my complexion, giving a little bit of shape as well. Go ahead with a Sephora Colorful Shimmer Blush. This is in Fascinated number 29. Same brush I used my bronzer and just lightly dust into the blush and then take a little bit off on my hand. Just gonna take a fluffy brush so it's not so strong. And just lightly disperse that over my cheeks just to give a little bit of a warm kind of coral flush. I'm just going to put more focused on the apple of my cheek. So I'm going to go ahead with a highlighter. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petals. Wet n Wild does some good products, some good highlighters. I'm going to go ahead with my Morphe M501. And because I put that moisturizer on before, I can really see where I'm like getting that natural glow, so I'm just putting it directly on top of that just to kick it up a notch. And I always like to put it right on this top bridge of my nose just to raise it a little bit. I love the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. You want to use a thin one and like work it into your fingers a little bit and then just pat it on, and then it works wonders. Today I'm using the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette. This is in Ring the Alarm. It's a beautiful warm palette, but you can also use her original big Morphe palette. But anything with just warm like shades, you can use any brand, honestly. Every brand has a palette with warm shades. So before I start any eyeshadow look, I'm going to go in with the setting powder that I used, which is the Charlotte Tilbury, and just press it into my eye just to set and everything and just give a really smooth base. First, I'm going to go with a really large fluffy brush and do my transition shade. I'm going to go into the shade Rush and just lightly put that on my big fluffy brush. Again, the fluffier brush you use, the more lightly I'll apply it. Same like method that I use for my blush. I'm just gonna take the shade Rush and then just brush that as a transition shade. So that's in my crease and kind of just blowing it out all the way up. I love this brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH30. So with my eye shape, I really like to blow out my eyeshadow. I've said this before because my actual crease gets hidden a lot and then my actual lid doesn't show. So I like to blow out my shadow just so it really looks like I have more eyeshadow on there. And so I'm slowly building that and slowly dipping back into Rush and then keep on building up that transition. When I get to the edge, I'm gonna kind of go like that in a diagonal and then bring it in just to get that lifted kind of effect on the ends. Then I'm gonna go ahead with Alert, which is a little bit deeper and warmer than Rush. And this is a nice kind of small tapered blending brush. This is the JH33. And now I'm going to concentrate that more in the crease. I always place the brush where I want the most concentrated, which is on the outer edge, and then I kind of bring it forward. This windshield wiper motions. The key to this look is just blending like crazy. And again, creating that kind of flick on the ends. Okay, then I'm gonna go back in the first brush with no product. There might be leftover color on it. And just go ahead, soften all the edges, because again, this is a very blown out look. Now I'm gonna go into Mugshot, which is more of a brown tone orange, with the JH37, another Jaclyn Hill brush. And this is more of a kind of dense, smaller brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that, and again, focus it on the outer portion. But this time I'm not gonna bring it all the way in. Of course, I'm gonna go in with my big fluffy brush. I way prefer to use any metallic or shimmers with my finger. I think it just gets the nicest pigment. I'm gonna go ahead with Boom from the palette. It's a beautiful, deep, kind of red orange metallic. Focusing my pigmentation on the center, and then we're bringing it forward. And then using your finger, I find I never get fallout either. Okay, I'm not gonna go in the outer portion here because that's where a darker shade's gonna go. Now I'm gonna go ahead with Siren. It has a little bit of glitter in it. I'm just gonna place that just more in a kind of dotting. And then because I focus so much on my transition shades and all the mattes before, just laying down the shimmers is so easy and you don't have to worry, because shimmers are so easy to blend. Mattes are what are harder. So if you get that out of the way first and you kind of lay down your base, it's so easy to do your eyeshadow. And I'm always doing that same kind of shape. Then I'm gonna go with On Camera, which is a beautiful, warm, true gold. I'm gonna go ahead and place that right in the center of my lid. Literally looks like I have a sunset on my eyes. I love putting the brighter color in the center of my eye because it just brightens and just makes everything pop in the center. So now we're gonna bring the eyeshadow to the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead with a Rush with the E13, again from Morphe, connecting it to the eyeshadow on the outer portion. Then I'm going to go with the brush that I used, Siren, and then use whatever's left of that and then tightly focus that right where the color is going and just on the outer portion, whatever is left on the brush. So it's almost like I'm creating this V around my eye now with the darker shade, just like that. Then going back, I'm going to take On Camera and put that in my inner corners of my eye. Into Boom again, and then place that more in the inner to center. So now I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes with my Shiseido eyelash curler. For my first base of mascara, I'm going to take the Benefit Roller Lash. Then I'm going to go with the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara, and I'm just going to put this on just to give me some added volume. Back into the roller lash for the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel and just glue my brows in place because they got a little bit disheveled when I was doing the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to show you a couple lip options that I normally wear. I like to wear nude lip with this look with an orange or warm base to it. MAC Velvet Tatty is like my go-to favorite nude. This is their matte formula. It's a little bit more peachier and lighter. And then if I want something a little bit more sheer and just easy to kind of put on, the Glossier Generation G in Leo, another real warm shade. I just really like to build this color. I like to have a moisturizer on before, so it gives more slip to this product. So that's more of a brown tone on the lip. I really like that paired with it. I think that's really pretty, but typically with this look, I'll go with the Velvet Teddy, so I'm gonna layer that on. It has a little bit more of a peachy tone than a like brown, but I'm gonna layer them together so I'll kind of get a combination of both. Alright, so that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I got this look. It's just my go-to favorite warm eye, great for all year round. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can stay tuned in your feed whenever I upload a video. Without further ado, I hope you guys have a wonderful week and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!
machine.